What's up, everybody? Me and Cookie are back again, and we are doing another podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing the future plans for Battlefront, and we're going to discuss what we think are going to be in the future seasons. Now, we don't know how many seasons are going to be. We don't know when the next season is going to be. But based off of how the past games have been and how EA likes to do their DLCs and stuff, we're going to give our opinions on what we hope and what we think is going to be coming out, hopefully semi-soon. So, Cookie, you can start us off. Let's start with the next season, which should be, I don't know, in the next 1 to 2 months. Fingers crossed, I don't know.
I would say that it's got to be Clone Wars. I would think that it's going to be Clone Wars.
I think the first one's it's kind of easy to guess.
Yeah, it should
honestly.
Definitely be Clone Wars. Okay. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking Obi-Wan and Grievous as the hero and villain. And I assume in that case you'd be thinking the map would be Utapau, correct? That's what you're thinking?
Yes, you would think that they would all three pair together, yes.
Okay. I will say that there's a couple of reasons why I'm not as positive that that's what they're going to do with the first one. There was a video by Star Wars HQ actually not that long ago, and that talked about possible speculation about Anakin being a future hero, which I assume he will be. But it sounded like, based on what they were talking about and based on the hints that Dennis Brandval was dropping, it sounded like Anakin might actually be the next hero that comes out, based on some of the stuff they were saying, like how he was hinting at Anakin in a couple different ways. And it wasn't just complete BS Star Wars HQ speculation. There was actually some solid points that they were making, and that makes me wonder if maybe Anakin would be the next hero. I don't know who the next villain would be in that case, because we know they've been working on Grievous, but just in case maybe Grievous isn't coming together the way they want and they need more time, maybe they'd add someone else, maybe Dooku,
Grievous
or
interacted
maybe somebody
with
else.
Anakin.
A little,
not,
yeah. Then the
but we
map
both agree
I
that
would
it's
think
going to be
about.
Clone Wars.
Yeah, I it's got to be.
If they don't pick Clone Wars, then the
idiots.
game's dead right there on the spot. It's done.
Put a
We might as
fork
well
in
just throw it in the trash if it's not Clone Wars DLC, which everybody's been asking for. Well, we don't know if it's tied. We don't know if seasons are tied with DLC. They could have a season where they're just like, here's like different goals, like different challenges and stuff.
Yeah.
I thought they were going to do seasons in between the DLC originally, because I thought they were going to be pooping out DLCs, and they were going to have like DLC with a season, and then a season without DLC, and then another DLC season. That's what I thought they were going to do. That way there wouldn't be any dead time like we have right now. But I was obviously wrong.
Yeah,
So-
well, I think that's also because there was so many things that did not go as planned, although that's another story as well. That kind of made that. So maybe they'll eventually get back to that. I don't know. But that's another topic for another day, I guess.
So right now we're thinking seasons and DLC are paired. Is that how we're doing this?
I would think all we have to base it on is The Last Jedi season, which obviously was all paired together. Now, that obviously correlated with the movie. They can't do that anymore. No, well, okay. Wait. Actually, that does bring up a point that the Han Solo movie that comes out in May, I don't know if they would actually try to tie something to that. I pray to God they don't. But
Well, that's in May. With what we know, they said there's going to be season 2 soon. So it's either the new season's going to be in February or March, probably closer to March, I'm guessing. And then there's April. And then if the movie comes out in May, you would think there would be another season in May to tie it in with the movie. I hope they don't do that. It wouldn't make any sense because they already have Han.
they have young Han.
It would make sense if they gave Han another costume.
Yeah.
They wouldn't make young Han another hero. That would be... Oh, man, people...
Well, we know there's going to be new characters
go
and
down that
stuff.
road.
I mean, Amelia Clark's character or Woody Harrelson's character, maybe they're going to be the next hero or something. I don't know anything about those characters though.
Yeah, so we don't know if we're going to like or dislike any of those characters. So I can't really say anything about that because we don't know. I wouldn't be totally against it, though, because I would take new, interesting, cool characters. Like, there could be a cool bounty hunter that we've never seen before. Or some kind of new Imperial bad guy or something, or maybe Han has a new friend that died in this movie. We don't know. They could add something cool, but I'd rather have if it's an interesting character, I'd much rather have that over someone like Krennic or Greedo.
Well, wait a second. I think Greedo is in this movie. I heard something about that. So
well, maybe
Greedo gets his moment in the sun, or he gets his moment to shine now instead of his 5 seconds and dead. Scene from A New Hope. Maybe he gets reborn or something.
That would make it a little more interesting.
Yeah, then I would care about Greedo
with
a little.
Han and Greedo. Yeah, so they could tie in Greedo with that. Okay, but the first season, we got a little off topic, but the first season we think's both going to be Clone Wars. We both think it's going to be Grievous as the bad guy.
I'm not entirely sure.
It's either Grievous or Dooku.
I know they've worked on
it's
him.
either
I think there's a
Anakin
decent
or
chance
Obi-Wan,
it's Anakin and Dooku.
Grievous or Dooku. It's got to be one of those 4 different combinations. It's not going to be anybody else.
I think their first 2 DLCs, I'm hoping, are both Clone Wars. And then they might have like a Han Solo DLC, because I'm thinking it'll probably be, one of them will probably be Obi-Wan, Grievous, and Utapau, and then the other might be Anakin, Dooku, and either Coruscant or Geonosis or Mustafar. So that's the interesting thing. I don't know which one of those maps they'd actually use.
Let me ask you
or
this.
Maybe it would be evil Anakin.
Past season 1, we're past that now. I originally, when the game came out and they had all this new news and they were like, oh, we're going to have tons of new content for you, and they were throwing out all these lies, I thought there was going to be tons of heroes. The way they were talking, I thought there was going to be just boatloads of new content. And it's obviously not looking that way. So how many seasons do you think there's actually going to be for the whole lifespan of this game?
I think that very, very, very much depends on how the first one does. I think there can be up to 5 or 6. However, if the first one bombs because of the way that this is all worked out.
Well, the pace that they're going right now,
possibly happening.
It's looking like it's the same as the first game.
Yeah, and if that happens, but like I said, I think this is just because they had to recalculate things because they screwed up so bad at launch. I think if they fix everything and if they get their fan base going again, I think the DLCs might start pooping out a lot faster. But I don't know that. But that's my guess. So I don't think they're going to keep this pace. Let me put it that way. All that to say,
okay, how much
I think they could have like 5 or 6.
DLC here once a month? Season once a month? Once every other month? Mm-hmm. Like how?
I think it'd be more like once every month and a half to 2 months, be my guess.
Okay, so we'll say every 2 months. So we'll have, let's say the next season starts in February. Let's basically in a few days. Okay,
wow.
let's say it starts in March. Okay. March. So then there'll be one in May for the movie. Okay, we'll say that.
Mm-hmm.
So then there should be one in July.
Yeah. July, September.
November?
Probably November. And then that might be where it ends. I mean, it might jump into 2019.
So that would be in January?
That would be in January of 2019.
So that would be 2, 4,
5,
6
by January.
8, 10, 12 heroes we would be getting. Now we're being...
Potentially.
Oh, God. We're being really optimistic with this.
Very optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
we are.
let's come up with 12 different seasons. What do you think is going to be season number 2?
Do we agree Obi-Wan Grievous Utapau for 1?
Yeah. Let's say I'm betting they add 1 Galactic Assault and 1 Starfighter Assault map for each of these. If they add anything else...
Each of them? Wow.
If they add anything else, it's a waste. But, I mean, they'll probably add... they'll be like, instead of an extra map, here's a new game mode. They'll add some random crap nobody wants.
Yeah.
But something.
Well, they'll also... Keep in mind, there's a class called the Sentinel class that we expect to be unveiled at some point, and that's got to pop up in one of these DLCs, which is a completely new class of reinforcements. So there's probably reinforcements are going to be added too throughout.
What if one of these seasons
seasons.
doesn't have anything map related? And if they're like, here's a new season where you have skirmish mode, or here's a new season and you get private match.
Private match. I'd be okay
You think
with that
that-
just because
do
I
you think
want
to do it
private
that
match
way?
really bad.
Yeah, but
It's possible, but then you're going to have seasons a lot more often. If they're going to be doing those kind of small seasons, like this is a customization season, this is a...
well, that's what I thought they were going to do. I thought they were going to do a season once a month.
See, I don't see that happening. I think what they'll do is those won't be seasons. Those will just be, hey, we have private match now, and an update or something. Kind of like what they did with that last patch
be
where they
great.
added Iden's TIE Fighter and the
Well,
crate map.
okay.
I
they
think that's
said-
what they're probably going to do.
They said we were going to get the private match and skirmish and that kind of stuff early 2018. How early 2018 is early for them?
Well, now I have no idea, because didn't they say that pre-microtransaction hell? Or is that during the microtransaction hell?
I don't know.
I don't... So, all of that changed the whole schedule, in my opinion. I think that just ruined all their plans. So, I think everything has changed. As
Do you
far
think
as
we're not
they're
going to get it at
concerned.
all?
I think we'll get it, as long as they don't give up on the game. And put it that way.
Okay, well, season
But
2.
getting back on subject a little, season 2, I think it's probably going to end up being the Han Solo thing then, and we don't know who that's going to be. I'm going to guess, way off the top of my head, because I don't know that much about the movie, I would say Amelia Clark's character will be the hero. I don't know anything about her character, but I think she's a good person.
Isn't Woody
I don't know that.
Harrelson in it?
I know he's a good person, but I think he's like the Han Solo's mentor, is what I'm getting from it. But I don't really know that. I'm guessing Amelia Clarke will be the character. That's just off the top of my head. It could be her. It could be Woody Harrelson. I don't know if Woody Harrelson will be like a decrepit old man.
Well, either
or
way,
if
we're
he's
not
gonna
getting a
actually
saber
be able
hero,
to do
so.
things. Yeah, we're not getting a saber hero. And then I think Greedo's the best shot that I can think of as a villain, because I don't know who any of the villains are. I know Bubba and Vader are going to be in it.
I'm
but
not even
obviously
going to
we
guess
can't
on the
react
heroes because I don't know, but I agree with you. They're going to do
That's the
something
best
for
guess.
that movie.
The one thing I want to say about the movie is that I think the map, there might be a chance it's Bespin. If they end up on Bespin with Lando or anything, or in some way, shape, or form end up on Bespin for any reason, that could be the way Bespin gets into this game. Maybe. Just throwing that out there. I have no idea if Bespin's in the movie.
Okay, well, let's
So,
go on to season 3.
see.
If they're keeping that pattern, Clone Wars and then Galactic Civil War era ish, I would imagine that would be towards that era. And then are they going to add more of the new Disney film kind of era? Because I don't know what heroes they would add.
I don't
Because
think so.
Rose is a slap in the face to everybody. Poe would be...
And there's no villains.
Poe doesn't... Yeah, they're not going to add any villains. They can't add Snoke.
Unless they add Hux. Which would be
Oh,
an insult.
That would be another slap in the face.
Yeah,
Like, if they
that would
add
not
anybody
work.
else from the new era, yeah, there's some people that would like to see Rose and Hux, I'm assuming. But there's going to be so many people pissed off because they wasted a DLC on those characters when they could have added so many other characters from Clone Wars. Everybody wants Clone Wars. That was the selling point of this game, was Clone Wars. Everybody wants the Clone Wars. Everybody hated the movies, but the freaking characters were awesome. There was battles, there's tons of heroes.
The planets were awesome. There was
They
just a
don't-
lot of variety.
They don't need to add any Galactic Civil War crap at all. They could just add nothing but Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars. There's enough heroes that they could do that for the whole entirety of the rest of this game. So I think anybody that's not a Clone Wars hero is a waste, to be honest.
But the only good thing that would come out of the Disney thing would be the possibility of adding the map where Luke is at, that Octo or whatever it's called, and then there'd be Porgs. That is the
Really?
only good
They're gonna-
thing that would come
they're
out
gonna
of
fight
it.
on that
would be the
small
Porgs
island?
are running around. Yep.
Okay.
Well, where else are they going to do it? Canto Bite? Like, there's no other planets left. Canto Bite would be the only other
Let's
option.
just assume they're
Everybody
not
hates that
going to
planet.
add any of that because they already added one for Crate with Finn and Phasma. So let's just
Yeah.
assume that's enough.
Assume and hope.
Okay, so what are we on? Season 3 or season 4? Season 3.
This
Okay,
is
what do
season
you
3,
think?
which we're estimating in July.
More Clone
I would say
Wars?
if it's Obi-Wan and Grievous for the first one, I'm going to say
That would
this
be
is
the
Clone
opposite?
Wars again. and I think it'll be Anakin and Dooku, and then my best guess would be Mustafar. But it could be Coruscant or it could be Geonosis. It's got to be one of those three. It could be any of them, but I mean, because there's all of them have reasons with those two heroes. Because Dooku was on Geonosis. I mean, Anakin was too. Coruscant. Now Dooku wasn't on Coruscant though. And then Anakin, of course, is very important with Mustafar, but that was technically evil Anakin. So I guess the best guess would be Geonosis, because it's also the biggest battle in the Clone Wars movies was Geonosis.
Okay. I think they're
so
gonna
that would be my guess.
They would add those two, and then after that, I bet you they're gonna dip into some of those extra characters, like the TV ones. I bet you they do. I bet you they skip Jango and Padme completely, and they go with like Ahsoka or Ventress or somebody random from the TV shows. I bet you they.
Is that what you think for season 4?
Yeah, I bet you they take the gamble.
Oh, so the cartoon is season 4. Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm going to disagree with you on that one, because I think season 4 is going to be Rogue One. I think that's when they bring in like Scarif.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think that, because I think they're going to go back and forth, because it could be Clone Wars, then Galactic Civil War-ish, Clone Wars, another Galactic Civil War-ish, and they might go back to Clone Wars again. See, I think if they do the cartoon, I think it's coming after they do Rogue One and add Jyn, probably.
The only problem if they add
and like
the Rogue One stuff is it's going to basically be another dip in their popularity of the game. Like right now, there's a dead month, and then if we have Clone Wars, if there's another dead month or dead 2 months at the pace they're going, and then the new DLC is someone like Krennic and Jyn. You think people is going to come back and want to play this game when the freaking new heroes are Krennic and Jyn, when they could have added Jango Fett or Mace Windu or Qui-Gon or anybody from the Clone Wars? That'd be so stupid on their part.
I mean, it's not like people hated Rogue One. I mean,
No,
I don't like the idea of Krennic. It'd be nice if they could do something that would be different and give the Rogue One DLC. It can't be the same thing as the Rogue One DLC was in Battlefront 1. That's the problem. They have to add something to make it more interesting.
No, the problem
It'd be
is...
nice if they could... I don't know who they'd add instead of Krennic.
The problem is that they're going to space it out too far. They need to do it either every other month or every single month. Or give 2 freaking heroes per DLC. Next season, we get 4 heroes. Wouldn't that be a surprise? Grievous, Anakin, Obi-Wan,
shit my pants,
and Dooku. That would bring back my faith in this game. I would be like, holy hell, new progression system, 4 heroes. Wow, they stepped up their game. They are impressive. That would earn my respect back for this game. If they had 4 heroes. Because if they had 4 heroes, then every season they could technically do this. Because they could go 4 heroes, have a dead month. 4 heroes, dead month. Because then they could add Pancake Face and Greedo, and they could add Jyn and Krennic, and they could add and then they could add these TV show people too. And they could fit in like 10 or 20 extra, like they could fit in a crap ton of extra heroes. And that would bring some popularity back to the game.
It's going to take an insane amount of work, which they obviously aren't able to do. Because they got...
Why? They have 2 months between each thing.
Well, look how long it's taken them to do what they've done so far. I mean, it's insane to think that they're going to do this. Unless this stuff is already done and they're just
being a bit optimistic,
releasing it like
I'm just telling you what would bring life back into the game. I'm not telling you that's going to happen.
I mean, it would bring life back into the game if they added 18 planets, 50 heroes.
Well, if they have a season like that where they add Jyn and Krennic, then that's the death of the game. Because that's going to basically be like 4 months that's dead.
I disagree with that, because the
you
first
think
Battlefront
people are going to be so... You're very biased towards Jyn. You think people are going to get excited over Jyn or so.
I think they will, but think of this.
No,
they had Nyan Nub and fucking Greedo in the Battlefront 1, and that game survived for 2 years. That was horrible heroes and villains, and it still kept going. It's not going to die off Jyn and Krennic. It's going to die off nothing. It's basically
dead now. Nobody cares for Krennic.
That's a whole other argument.
Krennic sucks. And
Krennic's, I mean,
no
he's
one's
not
going
like
to
a
come
bad
back
villain.
for Jyn.
He's just
Jyn
kind
is
of
not an
annoying
exciting
as a
hero.
Playable villain. Well, you're not going to get Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars, Clone Wars. I'm not completely against the idea of a Rogue One DLC. I like the movie.
I am.
It'd be
Because
nice
that means we're going to get Rogue One heroes.
I don't have a problem with Jyn Erso. I thought she was a neat character. It's not just because
Yeah,
I
you don't.
think she was hot.
I'm looking
You
at
think
it as
no one likes Jyn
this
Erso?
game.
She was a
Not
terrible
no.
character.
If you
to
compare
everybody.
Jyn Erso to anyone from the Clone Wars, they will take Clone Wars over Jyn Erso every single time. It's not even close.
They're not going. We're talking about what they're going to do.
And I'm saying
it's
if
not gonna
they
be the
do
death
that,
of the
it
game.
will. The game
The
will
death of the
lose
game
popularity.
is a huge jump. You said
They
the
will
death of
have-
the game. You didn't say it
Yes,
will lose
they
popularity.
will have. Okay, they will have the Han Solo.
So if they
season.
brought the Clone Wars back in the season after, no one's going to come back just because of Jyn.
they're going to have Clone Wars season, then Han Solo season, then Clone Wars season, are we still on the third season, or is this the
No, we're on the
Rogue
fourth
One?
season. Well,
So the fourth season
the fourth
will
one
be
is
Rogue
where
One.
you said it was the cartoon, and I said it would be Rogue One.
Okay, so the fourth one you're saying is Rogue One. So that means there's basically going to be Han Solo and then a month off or two. And then the DLC is going to be Rogue One. So that's not going to be very exciting.
No. What are you talking about? It's Clone Wars Solo, Clone Wars Rogue One.
Okay, so either way, so it's Clone Wars and then 2 months off or a month off, then Rogue One and then another month or 2 months off. That's a lot of time where there's not an exciting hero, is my point.
I mean, I don't think it's going to... I mean, there's already... I don't know. I can't convince you on this one. But we're talking about two different things. I don't think it's going to save the game. I'm just telling you what I think they're going to do.
Oh, well, I'm saying... Well, yeah, I agree. I think they will probably do something like that. And I'm saying if they do that, then the game will die off faster than...
I don't think the game's going to completely die off if they do that.
It won't completely
That's
die
where-
off. People will continue... Some people will
that's what
still
you
play
said.
it.
Like
But
3
the
times you
majority
said it
of
would be
people
dead.
will die off. The majority of people will stop playing it, in my opinion. I bet you enough people will be disappointed with that DLC in that 4 or 5 month span that they will stop playing.
I would disagree that they would stop playing just because of that DLC. That
They
would
would-
be my opinion on that.
What else would
I
they
don't
add?
think they're going to stop playing. They have other things in the game. They're just adding stuff. If they're adding stuff at that rate,
But
I
look
think
at it
they'll still
now.
have stuff. I think the Han Solo movie could do the same thing. It's not like The Last Jedi and The Last Jedi DLC. It's not like Finn is this amazing. It's basically if they're not Jedi, they can't be characters they're going to want to play with. I mean, Finn wasn't a Jedi. Phasma's not a Jedi.
No.
They're not.
It's
Phasma
not-
didn't do anything.
They
in
don't
the
have to
movies.
be they don't have to be Jedi. I'm saying they need to add more Clone War stuff. If they
will. We haven't even gotten to the next season. I'm just telling you what I think they're going to do, and I don't think it's going to be the death of the game if they do it.
they will definitely see a decrease, in my opinion. Pretty big decrease. I definitely will stop playing it. If they add Jyn and Krennic, I will not be excited for that 5 month span.
You really hate the Rogue One stuff.
No, I like the maps and
but-
stuff. I'm talking about how exciting those heroes are. But let's move on to the next season. Let's say they make it to the next season. What are they gonna add after that? More Clone Wars stuff?
That's where I think they would probably be. It would probably be normal Clone Wars. It would be either Clone Wars or the Clone Wars cartoon would be nice. And if they went that route, that would probably be the Jango Padme.
So is this the
But then
final
the planets
season?
don't make a lot of sense. I think the only chance the final season would have is to be like the final season might be a Clone Wars cartoon one. That would be my guess.
Like
if
they're
they
going
do
out with a
that.
bang?
I don't think that would be going out with a bang, but that would be my opinion on that. But I think that would be just like, hey, the game's basically done. Let's give the people who watch the Clone Wars cartoon something and give them Clone Wars cartoon heroes. That would be my guess for the last thing they make.
So how many Clone Wars seasons do you think we're going to get? 3?
That would be a total of 4.
4 seasons? Okay, I would be
Being optimistic.
pretty content with that. See, what would make sense to me is if they combined a Han and Rogue One thing. Because shouldn't they well, they wouldn't technically be going at the same time, but they would be close enough to be... If they're both not
It
part of the main
depends.
trilogy,
I have no idea what
they're both side
part
movies.
of the time period this is.
Like, they could, if they went with the 4 heroes route, they could pair two Han people and give Jin and Krennic, and then I'd be okay with that. And then they would, for the next season, they could give. That's just if they gave 4 heroes, but that's I don't know.
That's gonna happen though.
Or the best way that they could make it work is if they went a month, gave us DLC, went them another month, and during that dead month, they have like a smaller season where they just give us like an extra reinforcement for that second month. That way, we're continuously getting content.
A season. I think it would just be extra content.
Well, they need to keep
like part of an update.
Pooping out something small at least once a month.
Yeah, that's where you'll see the game modes. You'll see like Starfighter Assault stuff. You'll see, I don't know, maybe an extra Heroes of Villains maps.
Or even if they just did one hero.
Stuff.
Just one hero for the next 12 months. That would be even easier. So then we could get 12 heroes, but we get something new every single month.
Like this season, one hero in 12 months. Like, what?
That would keep it fresh. You'd be disappointed some months, but it would still keep it fresh, and you'd get enough. Like, this season is the Obi-Wan season. This season is the Jyn Erso season. This season is the Greedo season. This season is the Dooku season.
I doubt they'd do that because of they would just be, the heroes and villains would always be, but I mean, they did do that in Starfighter Assault. Maybe,
yeah, they added an extra one. But I'm just saying that's a way they could do it to keep you continually getting content to keep people coming back.
It would probably be smart. I'm just going
whatever this next season is needs to be a big boom so that people are interested again. Because right now we're in a pretty big slump.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's another story. But I would say in general, this Clone Wars season is going to be. I pray to God it's Clone Wars. Because if it's not Clone Wars, I don't think they're getting anything back.
Yeah, if it's not Clone Wars, then they just shot themselves in the foot, in the arm, and then in the head because the game's done. I don't know. They're just like,
they gave themselves a slow death.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a pretty safe bet that the next one, Clone Wars, or they don't want to make the game anymore. So we agree on some stuff. I mean, I'm not completely like you think. I'm okay with the Rogue One stuff. I just don't think that's going to keep the game alive. I think they'll see a dip.
They might see a dip, but I don't think it's going to kill it. I just think it's something I would kind of expect. I think Jyn Erso is at least likable enough. I agree Krennic is kind of... I think Krennic was a good character in the movie. It's just he's not much of... He doesn't add anything, really, because he's just an old man with a pistol, and it just doesn't...
That's like,
it doesn't work right.
Nobody's going to
It's not like an old man with the Force or something.
Like, everybody would rather have
Dooku.
Clone War stuff over Greedo, over Pancake, over Krennic, over...
Well, that's the problem. Everybody wants 6 Clone Wars seasons.
Yeah, that's...
I mean, the only thing that's pretty much
Wouldn't that be a
is.
surprise?
There's
They just do
things,
6 Clone War seasons? Wouldn't that be nice?
Like I said, there's random things I want from like Rogue One or from the Galactic Civil War. Like I want Bespin,
but they need to be paired.
I'd like to play as Jyn Erso, stuff like that. But the problem is the pairing is gonna make at least parts of it not that attractive, which is gonna kind of suck.
Yeah, that's why they need to do 4. They're just like, here's Clone Wars. By the way, here's also Krennic and Jyn.
Just don't add Krennic. If they're gonna do that, they might as well just kick Krennic out and add a cool Clone Wars villain.
So just Jyn Erso and a cool Clone Wars villain. Dooku.
I mean, I like
Erso.
the maps. Scarif is an interesting map. I just don't like Krennic. I just don't think Krennic's gonna give you anything. It's just he's not. It's like if he runs fast or something, it just doesn't make sense.
But he's the villain for the Rogue One.
I know, but he doesn't do anything but command. He just makes Death Stars. That could be something. He could have a power, or he just like Lego builds a Death Star.
Krennic built a Death Star.
She actually battled.
Jyn is attractive.
She didn't do anything the whole movie but be pretty.
Krennic blew up an entire city. Did Jyn Erso do that? Did Jyn Erso build a Death Star?
Did that. He didn't build the Death Star either. Her dad did.
He
oversaw the people. She was in charge of the people that got the plans to blow up the Death Star.
For 30 minutes.
That's a terrible argument.
We've been going on for 30 minutes. We need to wrap this up.
Attacking Jin. Yeah.
I'd rather have a Porg hero than
Probably
Jin.
I didn't say I wouldn't.
Okay.
Take a poor hero.
I don't know. What do you guys think of the seasons? Do they need to do it like every other month, every month? What do you think they're going to do? Like, what do you guys want to see these other eras, or do you just want nothing but Clone Wars? We could be completely wrong. Maybe nobody wants any Clone Wars stuff at all, and they just want Jin and Krennic and Greedo and Pancake
I doubt
Face.
we're wrong on that. Well, some people want Pancake Face. I know that.
Yeah, I'd be okay with Pancake Face, but I wouldn't take him over Clone Wars stuff, is my point. Like, that's a good bonus character to have, is Pancake Face and Greedo. Like, these are, and Dengar, like, these are all okay characters. I'd just rather have all these new characters that they could add from the Clone Wars instead.
I don't want Dengar or Greedo for any reason. Unless they make their characters somewhat more interesting.
Okay, well, you guys got an extra long podcast today, so, yeah, so if you guys made it this far, you should give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys for making it this far in the podcast, if you did. If you made it this far, you should comment chocolate pudding. Show us that you made it this far. You're the true fan. If you guys want to keep supporting the channel and support these podcasts, then I would donate through Patreon if you can. It helps us out. It helps us continue making these videos. If you guys want to check out another podcast, we have an entire playlist full of other podcasts where we speculate different things going on in the game. Check out another video, and that's going to do it for us, and we will talk to you guys next time.
Your defeat is inevitable.
I warn you not to underestimate my powers.
Do not throw away your potential.
Don't force me to kill you!